যেহেতু লকডাউন প্ৰথম পৰ্যায় যোৱাৰ পিছত দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায় আৰু বৰ্তমান তৃতীয় পৰ্যায় আৰু যাৰ বাবে আমি সকলোবোৰ ঘৰত আছো কিন্তু ছাত্ৰ-ছাত্ৰীসকল বহুতো অসুবিধাৰ সন্মুখীন হৈছে বিদ্যালয়সমূহ বন্ধ হোৱাৰ লগে লগে ছাত্ৰ-ছাত্ৰী আৰু শিক্ষকৰ মাজত সংস্পৰ্শসমূহ নাইকিয়া হৈ গৈছে আৰু এনে সময়তে আমি আহি উপস্থিত হৈছোহি গহপুৰৰ এখন বিশেষ বিদ্যালয় যিখন বিদ্যালয়ে কেইবাবাৰো হাইস্কুল শিক্ষান্ত পৰীক্ষাত স্থান পাবলৈ সক্ষম হৈছে আৰু এই বিদ্যালয়ৰ শিক্ষকসকলে গহপুৰ হেডলাইন্সৰ জৰিয়তে এক অনলাইন ক্লাছৰ সুবিধা কৰি দিছে আহকচোন আমি পুনে পুনে অনলাইন ক্লাছৰ মাজলৈ সোমাই যাওঁ
Good morning, children. Hope you are all safe and secure. Today I would like to have some interaction with you. Definitely this time it is an impossible period for us to have the person-to-person communication. So now only one platform is there, that is the online platform. Here the communication is virtual. So human-to-human communication is an impossible thing. So we have come in front of you. Shall we have some virtual communication? So you will be having your own gadgets. You may use your laptop, mobile phone, tablets. But remember one thing, the too much dependency to the gadgets, that will bring some negative effort. We need to use all the positive aspects of the online learning. Same time, we have to neutralize or weaken the negative side of online platform. So today, I would like to have a discussion with you all regarding a class 5 standard lesson, that is environmental pollution. Actually, I have chosen this lesson because this lesson is having currently popular, at present this topic is very important. So just you look around your surrounding, how it had been a month before and how it is now. Just you think what was the condition before the lockdown period, before the time when you came. How did you feel? How was the environment like the time just before the lockdown? Now you just listen, you can hear the chirping of the birds, very neat and clear sky, we can have a lot of fresh air. Definitely this lockdown, it makes us away from the society. We are confined to stay indoors, and it has already curtailed, already spoiled our freedom. But in spite of all these adverse effects, we have a lot of positive things also. Of course, you might have heard of ozone layer, the scratch and the split in the ozone layer already filled. The harmful ultraviolet rays, those are not entering to our earth now. So atmosphere is very clean and tidy. So this is because we the people, we are kept indoors and our movement outside is restricted. So what happened? We may have plenty of fresh air, no pollution. The rate of pollution in some places 100% avoided, discarded. In some places it is much more, even 80%, more than 80% pollution is abolished from our universe. This is one of the positive side of the present time. So let's come to the topic, that is environmental pollution. So environment provides us, this earth provides us food, shelter, clothes, and all the necessary things for us to live in. But in return, what do we give? But for our day-to-day comfort, we are using the things invariably. Misusing and overusing of our natural resources make our atmosphere polluted. So what do we need to do? We need to reduce the misusing or overusing. Or we need to reuse, reduce, and recycle the resources that we get. So I don't want to go for a long talk regarding the things. Just let's come to the point. And what are the type of pollution? We know that there are air pollution and water pollution, soil pollution, and noise pollution. So let's discuss air pollution. Air pollution. So air pollution is of two types. One is human-made, another one is natural. Human-made and natural. So let us see what is the natural pollution, natural air pollution. Under the natural pollution, there comes volcanoes. Volcanoes, forest fire, and okay. Volcanoes, forest fire, and sandstorms. Have you heard of the volcano of Japan's Fujiyama, the Vesuvius of Italy? Like volcanoes are there. When volcanoes occurs, it emits a lot of gases, and in this way the atmosphere becomes very much polluted. The sandstorms are frequently occurring in the desert areas. That also creates a lot of pollution. And the wildfire, forest fire. The forest fire, that it itself, how do you know how the forest fire occurs? Forest fires are the causes, are the result of the friction. Mainly it occurs due to the bamboos, when the bamboos rub together, and it causes forest fire. So these are the natural air pollution. So volcanoes, forest fire, sandstorms, they are the natural air pollution. But the natural air pollution is not occurring that much frequently. But regarding the air pollution, the natural air pollution, I would like to mention you recently that Amazon forest. Amazon forest that gives the one of the major provider of the oxygen in our atmosphere. So that is the majority of the part is from Amazon jungles. So Amazon fire, that was very frequently heard in the recent news channels and all. So anyway, then let's see that what are the human-made or man-made pollution. So human-made pollution. And what are the causes behind human-made or man-made pollution? Definitely we know that the increasing of population, urbanization and industrialization. Increasing population, urbanization and industrialization. So suppose when a family confined of 2 persons, for that 2 persons we need to buy or we need to use the natural resources for that 2 persons only. So if there are 10 persons are there, for 10 persons needs and want, we are using more natural uses. So when more persons are there, large family, and when the population is more, the needs and necessity of the people increases day by day. So I have already told you that misuse and overuse of natural resources are the main causes behind the pollution. So when population is increased, then the usages of our resources also will be increased. So more use of electricity, the more use of the refrigerators, the more use of all those things that is required for our comfort, ultimately make our atmosphere polluted. And the second one comes urbanization. Urbanization, that means the places, suppose Guwahati is an urban place. So Dibrugarh is an urban place. Calcutta, the biggest cities, where a lot of hospitals, a lot of offices, lot of places where job-oriented places are there, and the human being, the man, started going, and the frequent visiting of the people ultimately make a place contained a number of buildings, offices, and all other things which is required for a person to access. So we people are frequently visiting the urban places. So urbanization, that means an accumulation of a number of persons, more than the needy, the people used to go to such places. And urban areas, the maximum people are fond of building their buildings, their apartments, the restaurants, hotels, and all those things, ultimately. So there, the misusing and overusing of the natural resources happens there. So, and apart from that, let's go to that industries. That industrialization is one of the important aspects of our life. Many of the people, many of us earn our living by working in the factories. So industrialization we cannot neglect. But when industrialization, too much dependency of industrialization ultimately creates a lot of pollution, because the environment is totally polluted. So all the industries emits a lot of harmful gases, and these all the harmful gases accumulates over the industrial areas, and thus causes acid rains and some other severe environmental issues. Shall we see the effect of environmental pollution or air pollution? What are the effects of air pollution? So we have seen that the change in the climate. The climate of the universe that is changed. That was not the same. So 20 years, 30 years back, how it had been, and now the present, how it is. That very changes. Our environment is totally changed. So behind that change, this air pollution is one of the major causes of that. So, and global warming. Global warming is also the result of air pollution. We emit our household, houses and restaurants and all of the places which we build for our comfort, all those places emit a lot of unwanted gases, and that ultimately causes the global warming. So the acid rains, I have told you that as a result of industrialization, so many harmful gases are emitted, and that already became the cause of the acid rains. And acid rains and the air pollution, ultimately, it depletes the ozone layer. And in the beginning, I have told you that this lockdown period already, the depleted conditions of our ozone layer already got it earlier position. That was one of the, in spite of all the adversities, all the troubles that the COVID-19 imposed upon us, there is one of the biggest positive result of this COVID-19 situation is the depleted condition of our ozone layer already got it the previous position. So this tells us to have our behavior after the corona period. The post-corona period, what type of life we have to follow, that also will be a matter, that also a lesson that this period teaches. So you people, all the students also need to make some changes in the post-corona period life. So post-corona means after corona period life. And for that also it gives us a proper lesson. So now let us come to the water pollution. Water pollution. So how it happened? Water, how is our water contaminated? I have told you that just look around the ponds and rivers and your well and all. How it had been 50 days before, how the water is now. So we are throwing the waste into water bodies. That is one of our habits. We the people throw the waste into water bodies. So we are having a lot of household waste products, waste materials, and these waste materials, without thinking any of the consequences, we throw them into the water bodies. Throwing the waste into the water bodies ultimately cause the contamination of the water resources. So, and by the way, in this context, I would like to tell you that recently a type of flu that happened to the pigs, and it is heard in the TV and from the medias and in the visual medias as well as the newspaper. We have heard or we have read that the people started throwing the carcass of the pigs Carcass means, what do you mean by carcass? The dead living and the dead animals are called as carcass. When the human being die, that is a dead body. When the dead body of an animal, we call it carcass. The carcasses are thrown to the rivers. Our Brahmaputra is one of the biggest or greatest source that provide us a lot of aquatic products. It is the biggest, one of the biggest reservoir for that provide us fish and other essential things. So it is a place of so many the animals, even plants that lives in water. If this Brahmaputra, the boon of Assam, if it is contaminated, if it is spoiled, and that will spoil the livelihood, and that will spoil the lives in the water, the aquatic plants and animals, and when they are extinct, when they are perished, that will make the ecological imbalance. For the balancing of our atmosphere and the water resources, also we have to preserve very, very carefully. We have to preserve that. We are taking the resource from that, but in return we spoil that. And we need to have that type of behavior that can preserve our water resources. So, by doing this lesson, by learning this lesson, you are not only gaining some mark. My intention telling you through this class is the necessity of keeping our atmosphere. Why we have to preserve our atmosphere neat and clean? Why we have to avoid the pollution? How can we preserve this beautiful earth? And what is the role of the students? You people are the students of class 5. But a class 5 student also must think in that way. This earth, this universe, these rivers, these ponds, all these are the gift of nature. Our nature provides us everything that we require. But we are misusing and overusing. I would like to repeat the same word. The misusing and reusing of natural resources ultimately create pollution. So we must not throw our waste materials into water bodies. So, apart from the people, individuals, throwing their waste material to the water bodies, the industries are creating that even the air pollution. Apart from air pollution, in the most of the industries, the waste materials from the industries, they just depot into the water. So most of the industries in the remote areas, they establish the industries, but the wastewater from the industries, they bring the wastewater through the canals to the rivers. That ultimately kills a lot of living beings that are found in the water. So the industries, in different ways, in all respect, the industrialization in all respect creates a lot of environmental pollution. So our water bodies, we need to preserve the water bodies. So if water bodies are spoiled, then for our drinking water, cooking, washing, in all respect, for regarding agriculture also, it becomes very much harmful. So we must be well aware of keeping our water bodies very pure. So our water bodies must not be filled with any type of toxins. The toxins means all the harmful elements, harmful chemicals that are removed, that are thrown to that are deported to the water. So for that we need to have a proper planning. The least the little thing that we can do that we have to start. We must not throw any waste materials into our water bodies. So that is the thing, one thing regarding the water pollution I would like to tell you. And next comes soil pollution. So you know that from this soil we get all the things we are getting from our soil. So this soil provides us for our essential food commodities we are getting from the soil. So the artificial manures, herbicides, pesticides, etc. spoil our soil. So we have that there are two types of waste we throw to our soil. What is biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So these non-biodegradable products, that means the plastic, cans, glasses, etc., that we have to sort it. Biodegradable waste, that means suppose the peel of the vegetables, fruits and all, that we can keep throw in the soil. It will not make any problem to our soil. But the non-biodegradable products we must not throw them into the soil. We need to reuse it, we need to recycle it, we need to reduce the usages of non-biodegradable waste. Okay? Thank you for listening.